So this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while now, and I've just been trying to gather my thoughts and understand how I want to present it and everything. So this is going to be the price of chasing money, or the cost of chasing money. So basically, to give you a little bit of context here, over the last few years, I built up my wedding videography company, my video production company that I've had for almost a decade now. I built it up to focus on weddings and kind of scaled it up. We made a decent amount of money, and we shot a bunch of weddings and kind of fulfilled the thing that I wanted to do in terms of like scaling it up, hiring things off, all that fun stuff, right? And I spent the last 2 years really focused on that. But over the last year specifically, I moved into an apartment, and I was able to, have the lifestyle that I thought I wanted. So like I moved into a nicer apartment and got a car and did all the fun stuff, right? And I wanted to share with you my findings, what I learned from that year of doing that, and why ultimately I ended up deciding to move back. This is actually my parents' place. Move back with my parents and reevaluate and restructure my entire business. And I made a whole video on why I decided to move out from there. If you want to watch that, I think it's probably the last video on my channel. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the changes now that I have moved out of that, and I'm changing my business and kind of what I've been noticing, right? So now that I've kind of been able to zoom out and get out of that headspace of just trying to chase money constantly trying to make money. So I wanted to share with you what I experienced from really pushing to grow my business last year, and really why I think I did it the wrong way. I don't think growing your business, I don't think trying to make more money is a bad thing, obviously, but I think the way you go about it is extremely important. So the simplest way I can put it is that I kind of put anything lifestyle-wise, anything to do with my own like peace and like space in my head, I kind of put it to the side. And it was just like, cool, let's try to make as much money as we can. And I'm glad I did it, obviously, because I learned a lot from it. But really what really made, what I was suffering from was simply that my life and my peace and my space outside of work didn't exist. I worked basically for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I didn't take any days off for the last year. And, of course I had like days where I took things off, or, whatever, like, but my weekly schedule was 7 days a week, like working all day. Right. And, in all reality, to make a couple $100,000 a year, it's not even worth it. That's not even that much money in all reality. You'll realize that really quickly once you get there. Right. But I couldn't help but realize that I built a business that required all of me constantly. And that, as you can imagine, it ate up all my time, ate up all my life, and really didn't make me enjoy it. In fact, I was pretty miserable because I didn't give myself any space. And on top of that, I took myself out of the thing that I enjoyed doing the most, which was actually making videos, which was filming, which was editing, all that stuff. I outsourced all that. I hired a team and built a team and trained people and did all these things. And then I was just doing like sales calls and marketing and ads and things like that, focusing on things that make us money. And most business people will tell you that's a great thing. That's a good thing to do. That'll make you grow your business. But there's two things wrong with that. First off, if your craft is making videos, in my case, or like taking pictures or whatever your craft is, and you take yourself out of that thing, you're going to ruin your longevity and your ability to keep doing it if you don't enjoy it. So if you can't keep doing it, then there's no point in doing it, in my opinion. I mean, sure, short periods of time, there's always a time and a place to do things you don't like to do. But long term, it just doesn't work out. It didn't work out for me, that's for sure. I know a lot of people who struggle with this exact same thing, and it turns into a job. Like, it just turns into a job. And if you're an entrepreneur or a creative or whatever, and you make money and you live off of your camera or your computer, and you make things, you do this so you don't have to have a job. At least that's part of it. You don't want to have a job. So you have to be careful, because it's really easy to create a job for yourself. I sure did. And the interesting thing about it is too, on a financial side of things, I mentioned there's two things here. So the first thing being longevity wise, it's really hard. But two, by doing what I did, outsourcing things, you start to diminish the quality of the thing. And because you're doing that, you're getting more clients, which is what I did. I got a million clients, couldn't keep up with it. The experience went down, quality went down, everything just went down. Very negative flywheel. The funny thing is, financially, it also hurts you in the long term too, because you have a business that is maybe a little bit slower growing, but you take really good care of your clients and you simply just charge more over time, you'll be able to grow your business and make a lot more money and sustain it. So that's kind of the direction I have personally been moving, is going much more high ticket, way less volume, trying to work deeper with the clients that I have. But I had to learn that the hard way. I had to create that negative flywheel for myself. Like, I busted my ass last year, but mostly had to rely on like paid ads and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we got referrals, but not near as much as I would have liked to. And I think it's because our experience wasn't that good, so I have to rebuild the business in a sense. And I've been working on reconnecting with my craft of making videos. I just edited a trailer for two trailers for some weddings that we've done, and I haven't really been involved in editing in a long time. It's been a couple of years, and now that I'm getting back into it, I'm like, wow, this is fun. This is what got me here. This is, maybe I don't want to do what I used to do. I used to edit music videos and stuff, and I used to be editing for 60 hours a week and whatever. Like, I don't really want to do that again. But again, there's that component of space and time that I think makes everything so much more enjoyable. Like, if you find something you like and you compare it with having a little bit of space and time away from it to do other things, like for me, I made a list of this, so I'm speaking very specifically, like relationships outside of this, fitness, travel, investments, whatever things you like to do, your hobbies. If you don't have time for those things, and you make your craft all consuming, or you make the thing you're doing all consuming, you'll almost inevitably burn out and hate it. So I'm actually, what I'm sharing with you is actually like pretty much a journaling session that I did. Asked myself a bunch of questions. And the thing that I've started to come to that conclusion of is, if you want to build a business that lasts a long time and makes a lot of money both, there has to be basically a way for you to, give it a second. There has to be a way for you to create a business that is fun, like you enjoy the thing that you're doing enough to be able to continue doing it for a long period of time, and be able to charge a lot of money, and be able to have enough space and time to be doing things outside of that. So that way you can pour the rest of your life into your craft, and that your craft pours in the rest of your life, and it's a nice loop. I think those are the three pieces to it, essentially. The way I chalked it up into words for myself personally was peace, which means space and time. It means a lot of things to me, but peace, purpose, feeling purpose in what you're doing and enjoying it, abundance in terms of the amount of money that you're able to make, and be able to the abundance of time, the abundance of resources, the abundance of everything, essentially. And then freedom was the last one, which kind of coincides with time. Time freedom, location freedom, being able to kind of do what you want when you want. Those are the four things for me that I've found to be, or the lens that I'm using to move through life with, at least currently. And I share that with the understanding that those things may change. There is some overlap between them, but rather than saying I'm going to build this business and then cram everything else into it, I'm just using those four pillars as a base, and then I'm going to fit my business into that. And so far, after moving back and I've been working less, I've been doing other things outside of work a little bit more. I've been feeling so much better, so much more at peace, and also, funny enough, my business really hasn't changed that much, hasn't slowed down really, and in fact, I've been doing a lot less, and things are still growing, moving in a new direction, obviously, so that's going to take some time, but I'll share with you later in another time, like what that new direction is, because I'm figuring it out right now. I have a lot of things to share, a lot of things that I haven't shared before. I want to share some stuff about the online education space, because I spent a lot of money in that space, and there's a lot of not so great things in it. But I do feel fortunate to have found a really great group and a great mentor that I'm working with right now, which I'm happy to share, which is Blake. I think it's Lagrange. I'm sorry, Blake, I know how to say your last name. Over at college. If you are an entrepreneur or creative or anyone, definitely check it out. I'm not like paid or anything to say that. I just so far it's been incredible, and I wanted to share that. But what else? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of figuring stuff out right now, but creating some peace and stuff has been great. I don't know if I really nailed in the point in terms of like the cost of chasing money, but basically centering my business around, there's just so many animals out here. There's a bird's nest under this thing, I swear to God. But centering my business around making money instead of like something that I enjoy in a craft, and giving the clients a great experience definitely made me suffer. It made the business suffer. We did make more money last year than I've ever made, but I don't think it's sustainable whatsoever. So that was really the lesson that I learned. So everyone kind of has to do it though. You're probably going to have to chase money and like figure this thing out that I'm telling you on your own to really like get it nailed into your head. But right now, if you're trying to figure out how to make more money inside your business, I think the shortest and quickest way you can do that is to charge more for what you're doing and really learn to solve problems for your clients, whether that be business owners, whether that be couples, whether that be artists you shoot music videos for, whatever, or if you're a photographer, whatever, kind of business you have. Really learn about what your clients need, start to dive deep and start to understand them. In any way, shape, or form you can. I think getting closer to your clients is gonna help you make more money. You'll charge more, give a better experience, and justify that price, by giving an amazing experience, giving an amazing outcome. So that's the direction I'm moving in. Things have been good. I've been feeling a lot better, and I haven't really shared much yet because I've been trying to keep my head on straight and also find time for this. I love recording these YouTube videos. Like, it's really fun for me because I have like literally no incentive behind it. If you were watching this far, and I want to just mention this, I mentioned it in the descriptions and stuff. If you've seen anything about me being like, hey, I do mentoring or coaching for video, whatever bullshit you've seen, I'm not doing that. Like, I've decided to not do that at all. Maybe I'll revisit that someday, but I'm not doing that. So if you see any kind of links for free groups or for anything, there's nothing. I have really no incentive to make YouTube videos beyond just sharing what I've learned. I just enjoy doing it. So I want to try to make time for it, but again, I'm just trying to give myself time and space. So if I give myself some time and space and this fits into it, then I'll do that. But yeah, hopefully this is valuable for you. If you're interested in hearing me ramble more, then you can subscribe and do all the YouTube things. I don't really care, because if you enjoyed it, you're going to do it anyway. I don't really need to tell you. So yeah, there was your video for the day.